He immediately kind of saw the way that I looked and felt that I had a face that could fit into the world of Mirzya Sahiba. Something to do with my eyes, and also he really is a very instinctive person. So he really goes by what his instincts kind of tell him, and he just felt like he wanted to make me act. So that was something that he kind of felt very early on. Then I was very young at that time. We had fleeting conversations the next 2 or 3 years. Then I went away to college around that time, actually 2008. We came back in 2011 for a summer break, I think, and 2010 or 11, and we spoke. That is the first time he offered me the film. I was 21. He said, Gulzar Bhai is writing Mirzya Sahiba, A.R. Rahman is doing the music, and I'm directing. And I think you're the only young guy that I know that can do it. I think you'll rock it. So I said, I actually turned around and told him that I don't feel like I'm ready because I was so young, I hadn't finished my education, and I'm somebody that really likes to kind of feel from inside, that I'm ready. I don't feel the need to do anything otherwise. So I kind of went back to college, I finished, got educated, came back, spent a year doing odd things, including many acting workshops, and I had a small stint with Kashyap on Bombay Velvet. And then after that, I reached out to Mehra and said I'm ready. And then we started interacting again, and then somewhere in May 13, 2 months before Milkha released, he said let's go ahead with this. And then that's how it happened.
For me it was obviously completely different. I went through the whole complete rigmarole of auditioning. It was almost like a 6-7 month auditioning process. So I did around 10 to 12 screen tests or so. After doing 6-7 tests, sir felt that it was between me and another girl. So he said he was also writing the character then. So he said I had not completely written my character. So he said I want you all to both train in Delhi. We both need to be very good horse riders. So he said you also need to learn how to horse ride in Delhi. So in Delhi I had this completely life transforming 3 months there because I met 2 Gurujis who've changed my life there. And so I used to horse ride like twice a day in Delhi, morning, evening, and do like 4 hours of workshopping in Delhi. After I came back, sir auditioned again a few times, and that's how I got it.
Basically, the really cool thing about Mirzya Sahiba is that with the way that Gulzar Sahib has written the script, it takes place in 2 worlds simultaneously. So you first of all get to play the period character, and then you get to play the contemporary character as well. And I just thought really when I heard the first 10 or 15 pages that it's something that really suits my personality. And it's a very visual musical kind of film, and those are the kinds of films that I like to watch. I'm a big David Lean and Terrence Malick fan, and they're basically visual filmmakers. And also in terms of the physical characteristics, this guy didn't really have, it's not a very verbose film. So it's more about communicating with your eyes and stuff like that, and I think that's something that I can do. And I think Adil, the contemporary character, has a quiet intensity about him, but he's also very vulnerable. He's kind of got like a tough facial exterior, but he's very vulnerable on the inside. And then in terms of Mirzya, I felt if I kind of worked at it, I had the kind of flamboyance, I can be like that at times, to kind of bring that, because he's kind of a man. Mirzya, Adil is a boy on his way to becoming a man. So to kind of play both those people at 23 years of age, for me was like a ridiculous opportunity, challenge. And then also Gulzar Saab has written first script after 17 years. Mehra's my favorite director in the country. So it's like a dream, to be honest. And yeah.
So for me, honestly, it can be a very long answer, but I actually didn't go beyond the first page of the script because it had Gulzar Saab's name and it had Rakesh Omprakash Mehra's name. So generally, an aspiring actor wouldn't turn the page after that. But that obviously was the first and most attractive thing about the script, with the 2 names on the first page. But then when I kind of started reading it, and also I didn't read it, so I actually narrated the script to me. So when Sir narrated the 2 characters to me, it basically was, I feel very few women, especially who are debuting, get to play roles like this. Very few scripts are written, which and actually I think if I'm not wrong, Sonam sir was
He wanted to make
wanted
it Sonam.
to make it with Sonam when he initially thought about it. So basically, my two characters in the film are Saiban and Suchitra, Suchi or Suchitra. So sir said that we'll make it as two different films. So Saiban, he said that the reason I wanted to make Mirzya Saiban is to find out कि Saiban ने तीर क्यों तोड़े. So the character of that era is something, it revolved around why she did that, why she sacrificed her love. And as far as the contemporary character, Suchi was, he narrated a little poem that Gulzar Saab had written, which said एक नदी थी दोनों किनारे थाम के बहती थी एक नदी थी. So he said that you are the nadi and you have two banks and the conflict. So just so much to do in a first film that like he said, it's a dream.
Newcomers films don't generally open traditionally massively. They kind of are word of mouth films, first of all. Secondly, if you're talking about word of mouth films, then if you look at word of mouth films like Milkha and Rang De Basanti, Milkha started at 8 crores and finished at 110. So, nobody would have thought that would have happened. So, I just feel like a film may not seem always commercial at the start, but then it just depends on how the kind of urban audience kind of appreciates it and laps it up. None of us at home expected Mirzya to do 75 CR plus, so I think times have dramatically changed. Obviously, I'm not blind, so I'm kind of aware that this film may not reach every nook and corner of the country because it's just not. First of all, the telling of the story of Mirzya and Saib, no matter how you tell it, the complexities and emotional sacrifices in the film is something that you have to kind of be sensitive to and apply your mind to, right? It's also a world that kind of Gulzar Saab creates and you have to kind of buy into that world. But for me, I really approach it as kind of an actor and I think in terms of presentation, this is the kind of presentation that I want for myself. When I look at it, this is the kind of film that I want to do. So at the end of the day, it's very difficult to go on set excited by potentially what might happen on a Friday. You can't. You have to go on set excited by what you can achieve every day. So I think that's kind of the driving force. The visual landscape of the film is very exciting to young people because they don't see film shot like that at all. They're watching. They download torrents. They have Netflix subscriptions. They have Amazon subscriptions. So they're exposed to that world, And I'm saying if you're coming to watch a big screen Hindi film, this will visually be the most enchanting film of the year. The music is very progressive. There's Rajasthani folk mixed in with EDM. And it's classic Hindustani music. But from all the people that I'm speaking to, and I'm talking about the really like urban upper class youth, they're so excited by the visual landscape of the film that's enough for them to go pay the price of the ticket. I think, and there are very few directors that can do that.
To add to it, I'll still say, so far the stuff that we've put out, it's the audio visual is more overwhelming. But when you watch the film, there's a lot of emotional content in the film.
It's Mirzya Sahib.
Yeah, it's a lot of emotional content. There is, because our story plays out in two worlds, the contemporary world is about young conflicts and love.
The contemporary world is set in 2016 Rajasthan. So it's basically contemporary, rustic. It's not obviously taking your girlfriend out and buying a dinner.
Correct, it's not a popcorn.
Yeah, but I think the youth also wants to kind of emotionally invest into people and then remember them after they leave the cinema. I think as opposed to kind of just eat up popcorn or whatever. And I think it is that kind of film. And I also think that the first trailer that we put out is intentionally done so early to kind of just present you to the world of Mirzya Sahib and not give you much.
Right.
Now there'll be a second trailer, which is more of a dialogue story trailer. So it's a unique way of marketing a film. Because we didn't feel that we were the kind of film that could put out because the story is very simple, actually.
Right.
And the most intimate details of the film are revealed through very emotional scenes. And you have to experience them in the cinema, So it's a little bit of a catch-22 situation, They necessarily may not seem that overwhelming on your phone, It's a big screen film. So we have to very intelligently kind of play that, And I do definitely feel it's the kind of film where the visuals will grow on you. The music will grow on you, definitely. and hopefully by October 5th or 6th this film will peak, you know, as opposed to peaking on September 19th.
Right.
You know, and I really feel that if people like the film, because if we have an open run until Diwali, it's kind of a film that I think will grow and will hopefully sustain. Hopefully, if people like the film, you know, that's kind of the aim.